Good morning. I'm sorry, I'm a couple of minutes, a couple of minutes late getting on here. But I was on a call with an amazing, amazing person. And so it was like we were trying to end the call, but when you talk to someone that is right, you're both into the same space and you're really helping each other. It's like uh, it's so delicious first thing in the morning. So let me get to my journal prompt. But before I pull it up, I want to say if you're here live, make sure that you say hello. Tell me where you're logging in from, and become part of the conversation because this is so much more fun and beneficial to everybody when I can have a conversation about different things. Otherwise, I'm just rambling on, and I'm okay with that too. So let me get to my notes here and find well, where did it go? There we go. And let me get to my affirmations that I have gotten on here. All right. Perfect. I hope you are having an amazing day. It's a little chilly here for me this morning. And I know there are a lot of people having a lot colder than me. Like when I got up this morning and um, I didn't go for my walk. It was 26 degrees. And it's like, I think I'll go later in the day. I'm going to take my lunch break and go for a walk because I just didn't, I wasn't feeling it this morning. So as long as I still go today, I'm good. And so I gave myself permission to delay the walk till a little bit later. And so give yourself permission to change how things look in the moment. Like, I talk a lot about your keeping your word to yourself. And if you say you're going to go first thing in the morning, go. But, you know, it is okay to say, I am going. Athena, stop. I know. Don't you hate it when cats want to try scratch on your chair? Oh, all right. So anyway, as long as you keep your word to yourself when you pivot, and because like, see, if I'd gotten up this morning and it was pouring down rain, I wouldn't, if it was cold, I would not be going out in that rain. And so I would give myself permission to either delay it or do something different inside. So you have to remember that even though you say you're going to do something, as long as you do something, even if it's a little bit of a pivot, you're good. All right, so let me get to the affirmation. Let me see, what is it? Hold on. All right. So the affirmation is, I am a haven of peace. And it's interesting that that's one of the things that comes up this morning because the theme of some of the conversation I had this morning and a client that I had yesterday was that sometimes we get so caught up in uh, the things that are going on and the things we have to do, and we just really get onto this almost like the hamster wheel of trying to make things happen. And so to me, what this means is that I can be a haven of peace. I can take some time to breathe, relax, and I give myself permission to not just be going and going and going. And I know sometimes we have a task at hand that we know we want to complete and we want to do it in this way. But the thing that's important is that you're doing something that feeds your soul. And so all those things can, but if it becomes this stressed, I gotta, like I shared with Michelle this morning, I even found myself doing this some this past week, and I caught myself wanting to eat my meal in front of the computer while I was doing something. And I said, wait a minute, wait a minute. this is not what I want to do. This is not who I want to be. So I gave myself permission to stop and to actually take my meal, sit at the table, put on some music, or listen to a book, or do something, and then just be. So give yourself the grace of peace. And by having the physiology of peace, meaning you are in a relaxed state, you're calm in your mind, it kind of filters out around you. And so give yourself permission today and the rest of this week. What is today? Today is Thursday. So the rest of this week, give yourself permission to take 10 minutes and be silent and just sit and don't. And the thing is to be peaceful with your thoughts. So if you set a timer today where you're going to take 10 minutes and you're just going to just do nothing. So you sit and you just let the thoughts do whatever they're going to do. Don't judge them. Don't do anything. If you start catching yourself with having all these scenarios about what you're doing and not doing and everything, just say, just be calm and then breathe. And one of the things that helps me in that state is to start counting my breaths or listening to my breaths. And one of the reasons that works so well is it gets you out of your head. It gets your focus on something that is not all this mind chatter. And give yourself 10 minutes out of 24 hours to do that for you. I closed the door. The cat's wanting out, I think. You're just going to have to wait. She's very vocal. All right, so now let's get to the journal prompt. Let's see what that one is. And before I go to that, just a reminder, the affirmation, you put it on a sticky note, an index card, or do like I do and have a chalk marker and you put it on a mirror, whatever helps you to have that in your focus so that you can remind yourself, I am a haven of peace. I offer peace to me first, and then I offer peace out, right? It all starts within. All right, so now let's go to the journal prompt. Describe how you can create a peaceful environment in your daily life. So I gave you one little suggestion, but a peaceful environment could be something totally different. Like I have a client that she was so scattered in her thoughts and couldn't concentrate. And so we started looking at her outer environment, and she had some things that were really bothering her in her environment, some boxes that needed to be unpacked or some clothes that needed to be put up and different things. So sometimes, well, most of the time, our outer environment is a reflection of what's going on inside. So if you're feeling scattered, you may notice that there's some junk laying around. Like the more scattered I get, I know the more cluttered my office becomes. And so take some time to evaluate your environment and start there. Where can you have a peace? How can you create a peaceful environment? And so we can sometimes get so bogged down in what we are going to do because it's so big. So if you're a person that has this huge area that it's kind of like there's things here and there that are really junked up or collected things, or I used to have like a table that it seems like I would put all the mail on it, the junk mail, and it would just I would move it around to sit down and eat and stuff. And so when I finally started looking at it, it's like, wait a minute, this is not good. And so I don't sit it on the table anymore. I go immediately to the trash can. The junk mail goes in the trash. The things that need to be shredded go to the shredder, and the things I need to keep go in a certain area. And So it's finding ways that you can make your area peaceful. And like I said, it can be overwhelming if there's a lot. So what I recommend to my clients is to pick a time frame, like 10, 15 minutes that you're going to work on something, and pick a space that you're going to start. And sometimes that can feel overwhelming too, because where do I start? So I had one client that I told her, I said, okay, I said, you want to have the space to do your 10 minutes, but you really don't have a place that feels like it's peaceful enough for the 10 minutes. So if you want to do this in your bedroom or the office or your living room, wherever it is, find a corner that you know you want to create this calming space for you to have your Zen moment or to pray and whatever it is. And because we're want to have a special spot for this. And so find that corner that you want to create that and start there. 10 minutes working on that one corner. And it didn't take this client that I was telling her to do this, it didn't take her very long to have this beautiful chair sitting there. It was by a window. She made sure that any clutter was way outside the parameters of this area. And then she could sit and have her time, and it felt peaceful, as long as she didn't look at the other stuff, right? But sit there, ah, and enjoy your peaceful area. And so start somewhere. And to me, the best thing to do is have a special chair, have a special place or a cushion or something that you use for this time. And I will say that I had one client that had the hardest time even doing that. And so I even told her, you go to the bathroom multiple times a day. One of these times, take 5 minutes to just think or not think, whatever works. So it's just getting to the place where you allow yourself, you give yourself permission to do you, even if it's only 5 or 10 minutes. I mean, think about it. You have 24 hours in a day, and you're not taking one friggin' moment to just do what you need. So it's time to step back and decide how important you are and how worthy you are to taking this time for you. And as I was speaking to my friend this morning, it's like sometimes you have to slow down to speed up, because you cannot find solutions to things that when you are in the moment. You cannot create new ideas from the ideas that you have now. It takes a different idea, a different headspace. Give yourself permission to sit back and get into a totally new, calming headspace that feels rejuvenating. That would be the word. It definitely feels rejuvenating. So I will leave you with that today. And remember, with your journal prompt, you write it down on a piece of paper, whether you have a journal, like some people have created journals just for this. And or if you write it on a piece of paper, put it in a folder, hold on to it to go back to another time to see what your answers were, or to journal about it again to see what your new answers are, because these are some powerful, powerful affirmations and journal prompts to go back to. So with this journal prompt, the reason, and all the journal prompts that I tell you about, is that it is much more powerful to write things out with your hand because of the way it connects to the brain. It helps you get more from all the things that you're doing to write it down instead of typing it out on a keyboard. So with that said, I will leave you with your affirmation of I am a haven of peace. And then your journal prompt of describe how you can create a peaceful environment in your daily life. And just go at it and not only describe it, but start creating it. That's where the magic lies. Have a blessed day. Mwah.